Hello all. Welcome to 16th episode of Together We Grow initiative taken up by Change Rural India. It gives me immense pleasure and privilege to present on this auspicious day and to be part of this team who have come out of their comfort zones to motivate and bring awareness about various opportunities that the next generation of aspirants have before them. Today, this webinar is mainly about the branch of chemical engineering. Uh, I myself, Gopi B. Shetty, currently working as a senior process engineer, technical service department, Shak Refinery, and Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. So I have completed my BTech in chemical engineering from RGUKT Nojvid with minor in biosciences in 2014. And after that, I have served for a very short period in ITC. After that, I have joined HPCL, where I have experience of 5+ years in various process units as technical engineer. And I have completed my post graduation also in general management from IIM Tirchi. And recently, I'm a certified energy auditor by the Bureau of Energy Efficiencies. So today this presentation is mainly about like what roles chemical engineers are going to take up in their industrial part or research part or design part, how they can contribute to the overall development of a country or an economy. So being chemical engineering graduates, we always have that burning doubt in our minds that what we are going to do after graduation. So today I am going to clear all your apprehensions or doubts, whatever it is. So welcome to my presentation once again. So I have divided this presentation mainly into three parts. The first thing will be FAQs, and then what roles and industries await you, and career pathway, how to achieve those roles and all. So it will be it is surprising to you because FAQs are generally kept at the end of presentation. But the very reason I have kept it at the starting of presentation because I want to clear some of the basic doubts or basic questions which a graduate student who is currently pursuing chemical engineering will ask anyone. So I'll try to answer some 10 odd questions of that so that the presentation further it will be clear. And then I will cover upon what are the industries currently recruiting chemical engineers and what roles you will play in that and how to reach them. So like these are the 10 frequently asked questions which I face whenever I visit any college or when I come across any of the fresh graduate. So the first thing is like what is chemical engineering, how it is different from other branches, like why I need to study all these subjects and are the subjects really tough, and what is the job scope for this particular branch in India, and how will be the pay and perks. Our workplace is really harsh because many people have this apprehension that you need to work in very harsh atmospheres, like you need to get exposed to chemicals as well as you need to work onshore, offshore, whatever it is. And like campus placements are they really important? Like without campus placement, can't we start our career? And and some of the girls like they ask like are the opportunities gender based, and what is the scope of automation, and also I'll try to answer these questions pretty quickly so that all your basic funda will be clear. So the first thing will be what is chemical engineering and how it is different from other branches. Chemical engineering is a branch, like it has got its importance in the later stage, maybe a couple of decades back. It is a branch that applies. It mainly deals with the application of your physical sciences, like be it chemistry or be it physics, as well as life sciences. So you apply all these three subjects with the knowledge of mathematics and economics. See, your main aim is there's a particular material which is available in nature, gifted by nature. So now you need to find out a way by applying all your knowledge to transform this or to develop or to convert this particular material into a useful form for the mankind. And how you need to do that? You need to do it in an economical way, safe way, so that Mother Earth will not be affected and the requirements of mankind will be met. And this is a particular branch where you help in production of things on a large scale. Like it is completely it is different from other chemistry, because other branches like chemistry, because chemistry is all about like inventing new thing. Like you have some particular material A and some B, and you try to mix this A plus B, and you will try to analyze what is coming out. And let's say C, and then you will increase your temperature, and you'll get some C dash, or then C double dash, like whatever it is. So it is all about invention or discovering things and developing the foundation. So whereas chemical engineering is about taking that invention to a larger scale. So you'll not take all inventions to the larger scale, because only some inventions are useful to mankind, whereas some are like trial and error methods of laboratory. So you will try to identify the useful one, and then you will try to scale it up so that everyone can get benefit out of it. And this is the branch of study like which will study a particular process, design a plan, and then runs it. And chemical engineers are the people who are mainly involved in handling environmental challenges, because since you are converting a form of matter or energy available in nature into a different form, so definitely there will be some impact or some change in form like you're taking place. So you need to handle those environmental challenges also. And about the broad range of job scope, like uh, the job scope for chemical engineers is immense, but only thing is that you need to find out. uh, like I can give you example of all the products which are around you. Like you take the basic toothpaste, and whatever the food you eat, and whatever minerals are available right now, and energy, fuels, fertilizers. So if you look around, you can find n number of products which are result of many chemical engineers effort. So this is about the first question. Like it is different from other branches in the sense that you are really working for the benefit of mankind, and then you are making lives easier, better, and you produce things on a larger scale. It is not about just an invention in a laboratory. And second thing is, are chemical engineering subjects really tough? This is a very age-old question, which I hear from many of the graduates, that the subjects are very hard compared to others, and like it is like we are unable to cope up with the syllabus and all. But it is not that they are hard. I will say like this: it is as hard and as easy as the others. So there's nothing like an easy engineering branch and a hard engineering branch. It is nothing like that. It is only that based on your passion and based on your understanding of the subjects, because you need to have enough aptitude, understanding of the basic subjects. Since these chemical engineering subjects mainly deal with the subjects which we already study from, say, grade 7 or 8, like physics, chemistry, whatever it is. So if you don't do well in the earlier classes, and if you are lacking with your basics, then it will be initially you will face the toughness. But once you are clear with the basics, then if you start reading the subjects, you will really enjoy it. And this branch is something like jack of all trades, because it involves the expertise of many subjects, like economics, mathematics, and then your physics, chemistry, like whatnot, like all the subjects which you come across. So you will become jack of all trades. I'll not say that you will become a master of single thing, but definitely this branch deals with the requirement of expertise in various subjects. And mathematics is key, because ultimately you need to develop a program, or you need to develop a system, thereby you can scale up the process. Because when you scale up the process, the dimensions, the flow pattern, the temperature requirements, so whatever it is, like all these parameters involve some maths. So that is a key subject. And one more advantage which I can say with chemical engineering is that you have pretty less subjects in your UG. You'll not go into detail of any subject, but you will be well acquainted with all the subjects in your undergraduation. The subjects are very limited. Like I can say, any coursework, if you consider like be it IITs, NITs, or even our college, the maximum number of subjects you will cover is 10 subjects in your engineering. So 10 subjects in a span of 4 years, like they're relatively less compared to branches like mechanical, ECE, or other branches which have like almost 15 to 20 subjects. But the thing is that you'll have more lab work. Like you need to work more in labs, because this is one way I can say better for a student, because whatever less subjects you read in your graduation, you will have more lab work, so that you will understand the concepts better, and you can uh, accordingly use your experience in the professional world. So this is one of the question, and then we'll move on to the next question. So this is a more mostly asked question, I can say. Is job scope for chemical engineering very less in India? So many people will have an apprehension that you need to shift to Middle East, or even Western countries to have a better career or fancy career in a branch of chemical engineering. It is not like other fields, like other fields. I don't want to name them, but it is not like any other branches in India. But no, it is my based on my experience, I can say that chemical engineering is not so popular. That is true, I agree, but it is one of the definitely one of the well established branches in India, though the number of colleges which offer this particular branch are very less. But still the opportunities for the passing out students are really fancy. Like they certainly have very bright career opportunities in both government and private sectors, because they have potential opportunities in a very broad range of sectors, like from petroleum refineries to biotechnology, fertilizers, pharmaceuticals, food industry, paper industry, like FMCG. I'm just naming some of them, but uh, I have listed out some of the companies and which have recruited chemical engineers in my presentation further. I will just cover them that. And in addition to that, recently this is again becoming a trend, that more entrepreneur opportunities. Earlier, there is very limited knowledge on the entrepreneurship scope for chemical engineering is pretty less, maybe a decade ago. But now, because of the environmental challenges and because of the urbanization we are facing right now, so like there's a large scope for the entrepreneurship opportunities also, because like one of our friend like have started recently the mineral water plant, like it can be for domestic usage and it can be for industrial usage. And then organically produced herbal fluids, one of our junior have started his own plant, like who is supplying this organically produced herbal fluids for the benefit of mankind. And some small scale fertilizers, or some small scale chemicals, like which will be used in day-to-day life. So there's a huge scope for this entrepreneurship also in this particular field. And then scope is available in most of the daily life applications. Like if you see paints, medicines, like everywhere, like you can either get into one of these firms which are well established, or else you can work on your own, starting your own firm. And then next question is, so this is the common question which I generally face from RGKT students, because in RGKT the education is more oriented towards this uh, software education, or as digitalization, I can say more appropriately. Like since we are into more digital education, so some people are more interested in programming and software analysis, but still somehow they don't want to go into that, but still they're equally interested in chemical engineering. So this question they ask, like, I'm interested in this, but will I not fit in chemical engineering? Like, what is my scope and all? So this I will answer with the help of these two pictures. So on the left, if you see, that is the same control room which is being operated years ago. Like every operation is manual, analog systems, very few controllers which are digitalized and remote operation. But on the right, if you see, a tenfold complex plant which is being operated by a single person, like using the digital systems available today. So that is the scope of this programming and software analysts, which right now they are having in the field of chemical engineering, because all the industries, like be it small scale to large scale, and even complex plants like refineries or petrochemical plants, they are more driven towards digitalization today, because remote monitoring is the key part. Uh, So this programming or this software analysis, data analysis, all these subjects definitely will make you more valuable in the field of chemical engineering. It is not the case that you will not fit in. Definitely you are more valued. Are pay and perks less in core sector of chemical engineering? This is one more, I can say it is an apprehension. So any sector, like it depends on the sector, like which you are starting with, which you are starting your career, because some of the sectors are well established, like highly paid, because their the expertise levels are also equally important. Like if you take the example of oil and gas sector, so that is the sector which pays the highest starting pay, I can say. It is only about starting pay. I'm not saying that across your career. So only the freshers will get the highest pay compared to other sectors in chemical engineering. But it is not the case. In chemical engineering, you will experience the exponential rise with experience. You know, maybe in other sectors you may find it linear or maybe even less. But I can say for sure that in the field of chemical engineering, you will experience, you can get exponential rise with your experience. The more experienced you are, the better pay and perks will be. So you need to work hard for the initial career days, say maybe 3 to 5 years. But once you are well experienced, then your opportunities are like immense. You will be highly valued and you will be paid very fancily. And the one more reason for that is less experienced personnel across sectors, because you see the number of chemical engineers available in the country today, compared with the population of India today. So they're very less. I can say hardly point, not some percent, because the number of experienced personnel in these fields are very limited. So once you get their experience, definitely you will be highly valued. That is one more reason uh, experience matters. And higher education and prior experience, like as I have told about prior experience, higher education also is also valued in this particular sector, because either you grow with the experience or you grow with the knowledge, like it doesn't matter. So it is always important to get yourself updated, get yourself equipped with the latest trends in the field. And then then definitely you will be paid fancily. It is not that they are paid less. Yes, pay ranges between 5 to 15 lakh per annum for a fresher. So I can say, like maybe in the oil and gas sector you will be awarded some 15 lakh per annum for a fresher, and maybe in some other field, like uh, maybe some other field like it, which may offer 5 lakh. But it is not that a person who started with 5 LPA will stay there. In within 3 to 5 years he will definitely reach 15 to 20. It is not that you will get, the volatility is high. That means your dynamics with pay is very high in this particular field. And then our workplaces located in harsh environmental conditions. This is one more apprehension, because it purely depends on your job profile. I'll try to explain in my second part what are the job profiles currently available in this particular branch, and based on your job profile only, your work environment will be decided. So only for onshore facilities like oil drilling, or maybe some petrochemical complex which is located away from your city, then you may face these rough conditions. Otherwise, even in those particular locations also, you will be very pretty safe, I can say that, because all the working conditions, all the working facilities will be available everywhere. It is not that people have to work very hard and have to suffer with their own health and all. It is definitely not the case. So it is truly a myth. And then automation has drastically changed the way which plant operates. You know, earlier, maybe 2 decades away, the answer to this question may be completely different. But now, because of this automation, the way the plant operates has completely changed. More, more amount of controllers and remote monitoring, all this has come into picture. And then advanced safety systems and advanced technologies, like which will estimate the hazard methodologies. And because of this, like the risk factor has been completely zeroed out. So all these advanced technologies and all these advanced practices has completely made the work environment of a chemical engineer really safe and really challenging. And safety itself is an area with enormous job scope in process industries. Yes. So this is one more area like safety, which is given a great importance in this particular in these industries. So I'll try to explain the job role at a later slide. So the answer to this question is true. Is not at all. Is the conditions are not at all harsh. You will be taken care, and the conditions are really employee friendly. And then this are campus placements important for getting job in core sector? Yes. Yes, it can always be seen as a good opportunity to kickstart your career, but necessarily it is not the only option. So many firms recruit through all India exams like ICRB, GATE, and they have their own examinations. So that is one more thing, because if you see, if we take example of us only, because RGQT started with our batch, we hardly had any tie-ups with the firms or industries, but still many of my batchmates have settled well today across all sectors. It is mainly because of two reasons. One thing is that they have done well in these all India exams, or the exams which were kept by this firms and all. That may be 30% of strength. 70% of opportunities is the next part, that is references and networking. This plays a very important role in getting your first job. I'm stressing again, it's your first job, because getting a second or third job is relatively easy, because once you have already got your experience, once you have already entered into your professional world, so getting your first job is critical. So for that, either you perform well in these competitive exams, that is one way, and second thing is that you can have a very good references and networking. You have platforms like LinkedIn, where all the professionals are available. You can have a good networking skill, and then you can start your job even at a very maybe at low pay scale to get your experience. So I'm sharing you in this presentation the list of companies also, which generally like top 200 companies which are recruiting chemical engineers today in India. So what all the students right now, like who are listening to the presentation or maybe listening to this at a later point of time, what you can do, my suggestion is that you just try to get in registered with the LinkedIn, and then you try to find people who are working in those 200 industries, and you try to get in touch with them, or like whatever it is. So then you will definitely find an ocean of opportunities available for you after your graduation. And then this is one more trending opportunity. HPCL or even Indian Oil or any other installation which is having a complex plant as well as a huge installation at a particular location. So you can find these days some of the firms who are providing human resource to these particular firms. Like let's say a particular installation is having 10 plants, out of which maybe 7 may be highly critical, 3 are semi-critical. So what the owner is trying to do, so in that they're trying to outsource the human resource for these 3 semi-critical plants, so that his overhead costs will be coming down. So what these fresh graduates can do, they can get into one of these outsourcing firms, and then you can get into this large installation, get yourself acquainted with the procedures, practices which are being followed in the industries, and then your experience helps at a later point of time. This is one more opportunity. So what I'm trying to tell is, like, campus placements are definitely a good start, but in addition to that, there are these opportunities present before you to start your career. Yeah, this is one more question which I always face from the female aspirants. Are opportunities in core sector gender biased? The answer to this is pretty straightforward. A big, huge no, because these days, or I can say, like currently, there is no sector in chemical engineering which is truly biased. Nowadays, all the jobs are being treated equally. To give you more confidence, I can say that my wife herself is a production engineer in petroleum refinery and who is working in shifts. So it can be a better answer, I can say. So the gender bias in chemical engineering opportunities is really no. everybody is treated equally and the opportunities are equally distributed. And then this question. So many people say that, sir, like I try to read these many subjects which are age old, and then but nowadays the industries are being changed. Everything is getting into automation. So all these subjects are really necessary. Like, do I need to study all this? Can I skip some of these subjects? Yeah. So the answer to this question, I will just explain it in a lighter note. uh, all the subjects which you study in chemical engineering are truly core and basics. Like those are the foundation for your for the understanding of all the processes which are happening in the industry. So if you see the example here, so the images are like kitchens at a different at different times. So the one on left is a latest kitchen, which you can see in many restaurants, and the other one on left is your the typical kitchen which you might have seen in your grandmother's or great grandmother's home. So what has not changed here is the kitchen have changed drastically. The tools have changed. Now you don't need to put more energy, but still the importance of chef has not changed, because no matter how many tools you have, a recipe cannot be made. A recipe is always a chef's secret. You can make a thing done, but you cannot readily prepare some recipe with the help of a single machinery. So same is the case with chemical engineers. So you need to study well the basic subjects. So once you are good with the basics and then the subjects, definitely you will have a better future. So no matter to what extent automation has taken over in process industries, you will always be highly valued. And this is the last question in the FAQs. Like, what are the other opportunities chemical engineers have apart from core industries? Yeah. So many students, like after completing their graduation, they realize that they may not, some or the other way, like they may not be getting fit into the core production side of the chemical engineering. So for them, like I have mentioned some of the areas here. So one is process safety. So this is a different subject altogether. So you can, but it is equally important in all process industries. So if you are not very well comfortable taking up a career with the process part, then you can take up your career as a safety engineer. And then this risk assessment, these are all different subjects which will be really interesting and challenging also. So you can take up career in this. And then this data analysis and instrumentation. So in the light of this automation, data analysis and instrumentation has become very critical. They are even valued equally to the core process engineers, because the moment an instrument gives an error, so it is linked with various processes, so that they have become equally important in the light of this process industries. And then energy auditor or energy manager. So now like energy has become a very valuable resource in the current generation. So you not only that you have to operate your plant and you get enough yield or enough profit. In addition to that, you need to operate the plant with the minimum energy, so that you will be in the way virtually profited. So then this the role of these energy managers and energy auditors, they will do all these energy audits, and they will try to find ways that how can you minimize your energy consumption, be it running of equipment, being other losses, steam losses, whatever it is. So this is one more fancy career which is available before chemical engineers, so that they can be like it can be different from the process part. And then the last one, job consultancy and teaching. So this can help as always, like it is always important to create a fresh generation of engineers for our future. So teaching is one more career which is highly valued in society as well as in the chemical engineering fraternity, because if everybody is involved in operating the process or developing the process, so the duty of developing new engineers is also with chemical engineers. So this is also one more fancy career which I can say. So that brings the end to our first part of our presentation, FAQs. So like other participants, like you can type in your chat box, like if there are any other questions in addition to this FAQs. Uh, then we will move on to this second part of our presentation. Just a moment.